I wasn't going to talk about it. I wasn't going to talk about it. But whilst I was cleaning up my room after to try to achieve some zen, namaste, it hit me like a virtual ton of bricks. I believe, and I could be wrong, because again, I don't pay a lot of attention. I don't care. That this modification that's being talked about is for trains. And the little company doesn't like it because it weakens their brake. I'm going to mention something. I was there back in the day when LugNet was around. And ITCO, International Train Users Group, I can't remember. I don't remember what the acronym was, but we had a worldwide group of all the various local train groups. And RTL Toronto was part of that because we were doing train shows. Lego train shows. Lego display train shows. No, again, Lego wasn't sponsoring us at the time. But this is what happened. So we were pretty big at NMRA. I never got to one, but Callum and Derek and Jeff and other people got to NMRA in the States a bunch of times. 3 or 4 or 5, 6, I can't remember how many shows they went to. They went to a bunch of shows that Lego didn't, quote unquote, I don't believe they sponsored the NMRA stuff, but because we were part of a train lug, we got boxes of, I won't say used Lego, but I guess it's used Lego, that was distributed throughout the world. So every location, every zone got a bunch of boxes, and then somebody in that area disseminated the boxes to all the various train clubs. And we were one of those train clubs, because our train shows were getting to be very, very well known throughout the world. Our displays at train shows. The Lego company was happy with us that we were doing that. Now, you might not see how those two things relate. Here's a box. I just pulled it out. This is my box of train motors. Train motors. Now, it might take me a while to find one. Yeah, that's not one. That's not one. This will be one. This will definitely be one. This will be one. Do you know what train motors we use at these shows? Because we had multiple trains running on the layouts, and the Lego company at the time did not have a way of disseminating between the various train motors on the rails, the 9-volt rails. You know what we were doing for ourselves? And you know what you could have bought on Bricklink at the time? DCC train motors, modified Goram Lego motors that you bought from Lego company, either as an accessory pack or in a train set, and you modify them to put a DCC chip in here, the N-scale DCC chip. But the Lego company tacitly loved this because it made for great train shows. And they gave us Lego in lieu of money. I don't know if some companies, some Lego groups got money, but we got Lego from the Lego company for doing train shows with these modified motors that people were selling on Bricklink at the time. No, I made my own because I can. And Callum made his own. And Callum made these stickers, by the way. And look how wonderful those stickers are. RTL Toronto. Callum's great. Callum's one of my most favorite people on the planet. Easily, because he puts effort into things. So, modified train motors. Now again, since they are modified, they're not quite as good as the original in the context of using them originally, but these things will still work with a train controller because the DCC chip still will work with a train controller. But they're modified. They're 100% modified. Taken apart, ripped apart, put a DCC chip in there. It's completely different than the original inside. It's got circuitry in here now, glued back together, and we used them at our train shows that Lego was tacitly sponsoring by sending us brick to make more stuff for shows. Now, do with that as you will. Because again, this does not sit well with me, literally at all. And again, 20 years ago or 15 years ago, when we were hardcore doing these train shows, Lego was just rebounding. And again, I'm going to mention this. They didn't necessarily need our help entirely, the adult fans who are making all these wonderful shows and these conventions. Because, again, to be said, from my understanding and just by sitting here living through the history of the Lego company, in the late 90s, early 2000s, they came out with a wonder, and I still say, and again, one of the detriments, I won't say it wasn't Lugnet's fault, but Bionicle was utterly fantastic. And it appealed to that generation, not necessarily mine, that was in the Beyblades and the Pokemons, whatever. You have to catch them all. And Bionicle fit right in there, and Bionicle went right off the rails for Lego. It's just, they're a hot commodity in the collecting and the trading and blah, blah, blah. The other thing that they did in the late 90s and early 2000s, I don't know when the first set came out, because I know I bought it, is Star Wars. So those two things alone got them out of the red, back into the black, but also the adult conventions, the train shows, the shows that we were doing at all the other shows like we were doing. As I said, I've done hundreds of shows in my life now. If I actually sat down and thought about it, it's got to be close to 100, if it's not 100, that we are good, again, not official representatives, but at least ambassadors, hence they came out with the ambassadors, for the company. And again, I love this company, and I want them to do very well. I want them to succeed like no other, and they are succeeding like no other. I want them to keep on going on for the next 150,000 years. I want them to keep on doing what they're doing. Overall, they get an A- for what they are doing. And to put up with all the crap from all the clone crap out there that just always drove me nuts. First of all, I hate sorting it out when I buy a used lot, but I know the Lego quality so far to this day has been far superior than any other clone brand that's come out. And people, Build to Rule was good. Well, it was good. It wasn't as good as Lego. But this judicial overstepping is just wrong, in my opinion. And it's just one man's opinion. Other people's mileage may vary, but it does remind me of the you must say it Lego bricks, the way they're telling us to say it when we're having conversations with people. No, it just comes with you made this movie that you used our logo, so we're going to keep every trademark that may have come from this, not just our own trademarks, but anything that came out of it that and not that I had too many mocks in there, but they could have taken one of my mocks and released it as a set and give me no credit for it. It was well before Lego Ideas. Not that I had any mocks in that at all, besides the big mothership. But should I have had that, they would have taken it. They could have taken it. They could have, according to them, they could have taken it. I'm going, no, that's irrelevant. So this is just a denouement, as they say, a Sela. I think it's Sela or Sela. I think it's Sela. That's a Babylon 5 reference, also an old historical biblical reference, back in zone mode. I got other things to do and talk about, so I'm going to wrap this up. A nice short one for a change, and we'll talk soon.